it's like Monday, I'm married, thinking I have my forever partner. Tuesday, I go through this phone, and now I have to divorce you come Thursday. You know, and for me, I knew that once I saw those messages, I knew that it was completely over for me. No matter how much I love you, I mean, I still love the girl to death. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much I love you, I knew that one, I could never trust her. I could never, ever look at her the same. I feel like you had already done so much. You know, you left when my daughter passed. You know, I should have left her then. I just was too weak. You know, I just could not fathom losing my daughter and my wife at the same time.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot. And if you have not yet, hit that button below and get subscribed. Go on ahead and hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content. Now, look. Every week, I am bringing y'all the goods, okay? And I'm not going to disappoint you. You are in for a treat with this interview. We have a woman that employs damn near all of Atlanta, okay? She is a beast in business. She's one of the most real, raw, authentic people that I know in life. She is a real one. The conversations are crazy. I know we're going to have to do some bleeping in this episode. I'm full-blown prepared, but absolutely a beautiful person inside and out. And I am blessed to be able to say, friend, can we please give it up for Snoop in the building?
What's up, Sarah? What's up, girl?
You know, I almost said your government.
No, you did not.
I did. I almost said it
No,
just
you
then,
did
and I was
not.
like,
you don't even call me by my
I know,
government.
but in case they wanted to find what it was,
They don't need to do all that.
Okay,
That's
well,
why I go
good.
by Snoop.
You an easy Google, you know, you can just Google away. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. What about you?
I feel good. I'm happy that you're here. You are hard to get a hold of.
Yeah,
you're one of the busiest people I know.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so I have to ask you, if this season of your life were called It's Giving blank, and you have to fill in the blank, what would it be called? And you have to say it's giving.
It's given. I lost everything, but didn't lose my mind.
Ooh, break that down. That's so good.
So I'm breaking that down. A lot of people, maybe some of the viewers watching don't really know my story, but so the past 2 years have definitely been a roller coaster ride for me. Just going from owning some of the hottest spots in the city, you know, franchising them, just having so many various different businesses, really getting to where I wanted to be financially and business wise, and was at the point that I felt like, you know, I wanted to have a serious relationship. I wanted to get married, and do all the things, right? You know, it was time to have another child and just, you know, really have a family. And so within the past 2 years, you know, I've gone from that to actually, you know, finding my person that I did marry. Losing my daughter in the midst of that. I lost her 8 months after I got married. I got married 2/22/22. I lost my daughter 10/22. And now I'm in the process of losing my wife and divorcing her. So, you know, just back-to-back loss, things that I never thought that I would have to deal with at all. And especially not in a back-to-back capacity, you know. So it's definitely really changed me. It's caused me to really make sure that that I do the self-care. You know, I've really gotten to know myself, you know, through this process. And it's been, you know, I can't say good, bad, and ugly because I don't even see the good, you know, but it's my story and it's my life. And, you know, I'm trucking through it.
You know, it's crazy because I always say, like, you're one of the strongest people I know. And I don't even just mean strong in the sense where you strongly deal with all the things that you go through, but that you're honest about your journey. You know, there's a lot of people that put on out here. There's a lot of people that fake the funk, and you don't have that bone in you.
Nah, man, I never do that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of people, that's why, you know, you see a lot of people when they're going through things, you know, they'll get off social media, A lot of people only want to show the positive,
Yep.
about what they're going through. Even when I have business struggles, you're gonna have, business seasons
Mm-hmm.
that are up and that are down, and I was always vocal about that. But before this, I never really had too much in my personal life to talk about.
Mm.
It was funny because I was speaking with my therapist yesterday, and she was asking me, well, you have, your various coping mechanisms now, how was it before you met your wife? And I said, honestly, I didn't really need any because, I was pretty much good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have much that I needed to cope from. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, but no, I feel like it's very important, especially when you're in the public eye and you have people that are inspired by you, to be very authentic, because real things are going to happen, and it's easy to follow people on their success journey. But it's harder when, you go through something and you lose the person that was your why. You know what I
Ooh.
mean? You basically lose, pretty much, your entire family. And yes, I have my mom and my siblings, but your immediate family is different, when you grow up. For me, mine was, my daughter and my wife,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very important to be honest, because it can be inspiring and it can help so many people.
True. Like, what are some of the coping mechanisms? I'm going to ask questions like I don't know you a little bit. And if they're,
Hmm.
because I know you know you. And
Hmm.
if there's anything you don't want to answer, you do not have to answer. Just be like,
Right.
you know what, next question. And that's okay
Hmm.
too. But what is the way, like, how are you able to still get up? Because you still got hundreds of students that you're teaching how to do
Hmm.
what you do. You still are showing up to the new franchises that are opening at their grand openings. You're still doing things at Esco, the mini Esco bars that you have to throw events and create awareness and help, all of the like you're still going. And I know that a lot of people might be like, dang, how does she do it? Because they ain't gone through a fraction of what you've gone through
Right.
and they quit. How are you so resilient?
I think, in the beginning when I lost my daughter, it was, even just the past couple of years have just been some very, very dark times. I have a lot of days where I'm just in my room with, no light at all. Like my mom had recently came to visit me and she was just like, girl, this room is so dark. This is what you be doing,
Mm,
like sometimes I go to bed taking sleeping pills and wake up taking some more,
mm,
you know. That has been a coping mechanism for me. That's probably one of the number one signs of depression,
mm,
when all you want to do is just sleep,
mm,
and turn off the world and just not have to think about your reality
mm,
and what you're truly going through. I would say my businesses have kept me sane because I have to show up. It's
mm,
just so many people relying on me. So I have to put on a face, and sometimes it's been very, very fake. You know what I mean? Because when I come out, people are expecting me to hop on couches, turn up, be smiling, have a good time, and be the person that I was in 2020, 2021, and 2022, before my daughter passed. And I'm not that person anymore,
mm,
So that's one thing. But I've had a lot of negative coping mechanisms, being that I do work for myself, I have a lot of free time if I want it, So I got a little bar right down the street. They've really gotten to know me. And a lot of times, I go there and completely shut myself off,
mm,
from the world,
mhm,
from my friends. A lot of my friends, we want to get up with me, but it's like, I don't really want you to see me like this. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? So a lot of it has been that. And then having that peace, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Having to be who I am for so many people, that kind of keeps you level, you
mhm,
know what I'm saying? And grounded, because also I already have this lifestyle that's so damn expensive too,
mhm,
like I gotta at least make $300,000 a year just to even pay my bills,
mhm,
and then for me, I want to save, a certain amount a month and all of this stuff. So it's been a combination, I just recently since, having to file for divorce, from my soon to be ex-wife, I just recently found somebody that I think is a good therapist, that has been extremely helpful to me. A lot of people always tell you, oh, getting therapy, but that's a process as well,
Yeah.
because it's just like finding somebody to do your hair. If
Whew.
it's 5,000 people out here doing the same job, you have to find the person that's right for you. And so I'm so thankful that I have recently, within the past 2 months. And that has definitely, helped. Another coping mechanism that I have is traveling, so
Mhm.
I'm blessed to be able to fly for free domestically and, internationally, just pay taxes. So I have 150% taken advantage of that. I'll be gone,
Gone, gone.
So that has been extremely helpful too, because with what I've gone through, Atlanta has become a little depressing for me,
Mhm.
so.
Do you feel like, because I know that sometimes when you start to lose people, like whether it be your soon to be ex-wife or your daughter, do you ever blame self? How do you stay out of blaming self?
So with my daughter, I definitely did, because I felt like, so my daughter passed from an accidental drug overdose. She
Mm.
took a Percocet that was laced with fentanyl that she actually got from somebody out of my restaurants. And my daughter was working for me for about 2 years before she passed. And I definitely felt like, had my daughter never worked for me, that
Mm.
this never would have happened. My daughter, before she started working for me, was just a very meek, quiet, shy
Mm.
kid. She was, I mean, I used to brag on her so much. Even, I looked at the other day a little card, that I had wrote her when she was graduating from high school. She never gave me a lick of trouble in
Mm.
high school. And if anybody would have told me, your daughter is going to pass from an accidental drug overdose, I would have said, you a goddamn lie. I bet everything I have that that's. Not going to happen.
Mhm.
And so I felt like, even though, you have these businesses and, you want to get your kids involved, it's one of those type of situations where, you see these celebrities and, they've worked so hard, but their kids can come in and take advantage,
Mhm.
of the work. And, for me, I've been in the nightlife industry since I was 16. I went to college when I was 16,
Mhm.
so,
That girl smart.
I was bred for it. You know what I mean? This is literally what I was supposed to be doing. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And for my daughter, I just don't think it was supposed to be her path,
Mm.
and I really think that she truly got caught up in it, and it cost her her life, and it cost me her,
Mm.
and I feel like, I also feel like, in the process, because I had put my life on hold for so long, for my daughter, I had said, I probably, before I met my soon to be ex wife, I hadn't been in a serious relationship for about 7 years. And I purposely did that because I wanted to make sure that my daughter had graduated, that she had got out the house. She was going to LSU at first. She was very, very homesick there, so I allowed her to come back home. And when she
Mm.
came back home, she was working for somewhere else. She wasn't really making much money there. I'm like, okay, girl, but you can come on and work for me and I'll pay you double. You can just do the little social media stuff, never expected her to really get involved as she did, but I also feel like, with meeting somebody that I thought was the love of my life, I feel like it kind of distracted me a little bit in seeing what was going on in my child's life,
Mm.
and that's something that, I've had to work on, forgiving myself for, because I felt like I should have known, I should have known before I found out. When I found out, it was that Friday before she passed that Sunday, it was too late.
Mm.
you know Now, with the situation with my soon to be ex-wife, I feel like, I don't feel like I did anything wrong in that situation. I feel like I have some self work to do and some healing within myself, because there were many signs,
Mhm.
and honestly, out of all of the women that I dated, this was probably the least choice that I should have picked
Mm.
to actually be the person that I walked down the aisle with. But, I just was so in love with her. I wanted it to be her.
Mm.
I thought that I could change her. I thought that I could give her another life. And I
Mm.
thought that, if I gave you everything you was missing, but who's to say she thought anything was wrong with her life before I walked into it?
Ooh.
So sometimes people are completely content, and you can take them out of their comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Some people are very content with living just how they are already living, you know what I mean? Being for the streets or, whatever it is you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? So with that situation, I don't feel like I have to forgive myself with. I feel like, well, I do have to forgive myself. I have to forgive myself in my choices because it's
For
also
choosing her.
it's like, why at this big age? It's not like I was a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old. So it's like, why at this big age would you ask for this woman hand in marriage when she's nowhere near of a fraction of what you say that you want in a wife and to be the mother of your children? But, a lot of times we think we can change people. We think that a situation will grow. We think if we give them this, give them that, take them out of their environment. I had moved her up here from Miami away from, some negative influences. And, we think that'll help. But, people are also dealing with their own traumas and things of that nature. And people have to want to change for themselves.
That's a bar. I literally was just having that conversation because, I tell you this all the time. Like, my dating pool isn't a pool, it's a period. Like, it's so small. I wouldn't date most men.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is, like, even inside of that, it's like most men wouldn't date me because I am a handful of standards of accountability, of the realization. And so it's literally like, yeah, you know what, those men, those people might be great people. And also that doesn't mean that that's a person for me.
Right.
Right. So that's a bar. That's a bar. Okay. I have to ask you a silly question because I know your preference is women.
Yes.
And you had a daughter.
Yes.
How did this happen?
How did what happen?
You had a daughter.
Girl, that was the first time I had sex. That shit was so long ago. So I got pregnant with my daughter at 14.
Woo!
I had her at 15.
Yep.
I'm now 39.
Yes.
So I haven't been with a man since, let's just give it 5 years from then.
Yeah.
So let's say I was 19. So 20 years.
Did you ever, were you ever, like, when that happened, when you had sex with a man, were you like, this was a disaster, shouldn't have done it?
No,
Oh,
I
you
didn't feel
had the time
that
of
way.
your life.
You said at the time of my life. Well, I'm not gonna say all that because I was losing my virginity, so
That's true,
it's like it hurt.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that from that encounter. I wasn't like, oh, it's terrible. I'm gonna be into women, or anything like that. So for me, I think it was like a kind of like a psychological trauma how it actually started because I was in college. I was about 18 and I had got suspended for a semester in college. So I was in Detroit hanging out with my family, and I have a cousin who went to prison for killing her grandmother. Her and her girlfriend killed her grandmother.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we've had just so many little tragedies in our family. But that was one of them. And I remember when this happened and thinking like, what? She gay? Like, and I was like turned off from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, I kind of was like, ill, you know what I mean? But I think from whatever was going on with that situation, it kind of like ended up turning me on to the lifestyle. Me and her sister, we're both gay to this day and was not prior to this situation. And so I ended up having my first experience with a woman I was 18. She was 28.
I knew she was older. It's always the older ones that be turning folks out.
They be praying.
They be turning folks out.
I mean, I guess I'd have done the same shit by now. So. But yeah, so I started messing with her, and so that was my first one. And it's so funny because she is nothing physically or, just even her background or her characteristics, nothing like anybody that I would date to this day.
Yeah.
And so anyways, when I got back to college, to my college campus, after having this first interaction, I said to myself, I said, I wonder if that's going to be a one-time thing, you know what I'm saying? Or, if that's what I'm about to be on. And it was just like, when I got back to school, I told a couple of the guys that I was friends with about the experience that I had. They were so excited. Because now, mind you, I was still a very feminine girl at this time. I wouldn't say very, I kind of had like a little tomboyish, to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, definitely, still dressed feminine, nice looking. And so I told a couple of my homeboys, and they were so excited. They started taking me to strip clubs. And anyways, a couple of them ended up spilling the beans, talk more than females do, child.
Facts.
So a couple of them ended up telling some girls. And I mean, after that, just all the bad bitches on campus was after me. And I was just like, oh, this is nice, And so I would say after that, I probably only was sexually active with maybe 3 men after that. And it was definitely just for like financial type shit, and not like, not on no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just like, oh, you doing so much for me, you know what I'm saying? That type of situation. And then I had one night stand after that. I'll never forget. I went to Miami, me and a couple of friends of mine. This was my senior year. So when I got back, it was my junior year, my senior year. And I was just like, I'm going to have a one night stand because I probably would never, ever do this again, because it was just like, I'm feeling like I'm not really going to be into men like that, and I did. And,
how'd you pick him? Like when you think
it's so long ago, girl, I don't even remember. But this was Miami at the time. Girl, everybody is wanting to have a one night stand in Miami, so it wasn't hard to pick. Well, you done got a little bit older now, but you should have. I mean, you still can. What nobody
I don't want no one night stand. No, I just feel like, how do you even pick the person? Like, if you were to have a one night stand,
girl, you just go out and you just be like, okay, they look good, and you give them some. Sarah, quit acting green. You know how this shit goes.
No, I don't. I've never had a one night stand. I feel like, you know what it is?
Hey, well, y'all tell Sarah to quit acting green.
I know that they happen.
I want somebody to go in the comments and be like, oh, Sarah, we've had a one night stand. Shut up.
That would never happen. That'll never happen. I've never had one before.
I'm playing with you.
But you know what's funny? I literally think about, like, if I were to go into a club, I like avoid attractive people. Because attractive people, I'm like,
oh yeah, you don't like to date attractive people.
No, you see, another one.
Your niggas be ugly.
Oh my! I feel attacked. No, but so that's what I'm saying. Like when I think of a one night stand, it's like you'd probably choose like the best looking.
Oh yeah, person. Yeah. I definitely chose like a nice looking guy. Come to find out, his father was some big producer or something like that. But he kept calling me, and it's just like, no, you served your purpose.
One night only, baby.
I'm from out of town.
Okay. I've asked you this before, but I want to talk about it right here on this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there is a man right now at this big age that you would say, let's do it?
So this is how I feel. I feel that men are put on this earth to naturally be attracted to women.
Yes.
And women are put on this earth to naturally be attracted to men.
Okay.
I feel like, yes, there was one man somewhere in the nooks and crannies of the far end of Southeast Asia, baby, Australia, whatever. I ain't met him. But never say never. I don't think I would ever like be with a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on now, look at all this swag. They wouldn't be able to handle me, child. You know. But I feel like even with gay guys, you know what I mean? I feel like it's that one. You know,
That one woman.
it's that one somewhere. You know, have I met them? No, I have not.
Yeah.
Am I looking for them? No, I'm not. Do I want them to come on to me? No,
No.
please don't fall in my DMs. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's one somewhere, possibly.
Yeah. Because I always wonder, like, you know, sometimes, and that's why even with food, you know, I say I'm a selectarian, but I'm a selectarian with everything. Don't put me in no box, you know, like, because the second that you have an identity, people try to hold you to it.
That's
like,
true.
Hold up, you
That's
said
true.
you gay, you ain't supposed to ever.
Yeah, that's like, and then you know, you got all these studs out here, you know, and getting pregnant and stuff like that, you know. So
Wait, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, girl, yes, child. For sure.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay, so what do you think? So there's like a spectrum of like lesbian women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you identify as lesbian, or are you?
Like I don't go around just being like, oh, I'm a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? But I am one.
Yeah. Okay. But there's a spectrum. So there's like the femmes.
Yes.
And then on the other side, there's like the studded. Is that the far side?
Okay. So you got the femmes. You got the studs. You know, a lot of people don't like to be categorized, you know, but so you got the femmes, you got the studs, and then you kind of have like a in between, which is kind of called like a stem, you know, which is, you know, the right in between.
What does that look like? Do I know
how I used to be all the time? You ain't know me then, but like wearing my hair pressed down, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep. I wouldn't even like, okay, so I'm a stud, yeah, you know, like.
That's what you classify yourself now?
See, I don't never go around saying that I'm a stud, you know,
yeah,
but
I don't get stud from you.
But, you know, I don't feel like I'm the hardest in the room, but you know, when you worth 10 million and you can pay all the bills and you know you can swing it and slang it just like you know the can, you know what I mean, 3-4 orgasms in a sitting.
Damn.
You know, I probably would be categorized as one to other lesbian women, you know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would be a femme.
Of course, girl.
I'm feminine.
But so what would you categorize me as?
I'd say the middle.
The middle, okay.
Because I guess I feel like you have masculine energy for sure, but you also have feminine energy. Like you are.
That's the both.
Yeah, you know, that's a STEM. I give you STEM. I don't give you because, and also maybe this is ignorant, and y'all might attack me in the comments, and that's fine. I don't know any better, but I feel like also aren't studs usually like big women?
Nah, hell nah, not necessarily. They definitely about to attack your ass too.
No, they're not.
No, girl, nah. They ain't gotta be fat, burly, and breasty.
I didn't say none of that. I just said big. Just big, like in stature. Like they're just big. No?
Nah.
No?
No, ma'am.
Or like I feel like a woman that's like really in the gym, like yoked up.
But yeah, that's a dyke.
Oh. Wait, that a dyke likes women?
Yes, Sarah. If you don't take your ass back to California, come on now, man.
Okay, wait.
You living in Atlanta,
but you didn't put that on
the Georgia. Come on now.
You didn't put that on the spectrum. I don't know no better.
I don't go to gay parties no more, but I'm gonna have to take you to one so you can see what's going on.
So that's on the other side of stud. So it ranges from I don't even want to say the word. It sounds derogatory.
You know, honestly, baby, I wouldn't know. Because let me tell you something. And this is what I've always told people about me. I'm regular. I just...
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
You like what you like. That's why I'm saying, like, selectarian through and through. We like what we like. Don't put me in a box. People be like, you a vegetarian, you a vegan. I'm a selectarian. If I go out this country, I'm going to eat some fish, okay? Probably.
I'm going to need you to eat something else other than a grilled cheese sandwich and a salad, child.
Let me tell y'all. So for those of you that don't know me, I don't eat most things. You know this, obviously. I eat salads, fries, grilled cheese. And until I was like 20 years old, every time I went to a restaurant, I would literally order a grilled cheese sandwich with french fries. That's what Snoop's talking about.
This girl eat like she's 16.
It's true. It's definitely true. But I feel like food just gets in the way.
No.
I know you're a
Food
foodie.
is a part of it.
No,
Food is
you're
part of the
such a foodie.
situation.
So here's a question because I know how much of a foodie you are.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, do you want to be married again?
Okay.
That's the first part.
All right.
Second part to the question is, does she have to cook?
2 easy questions. One, do I want to be married again? So I really, really wanted to be married initially. It's definitely been heartbreaking and a letdown, but I don't want to allow it to turn my heart cold. I can't say that I'm just dying to get married again because the process of going through a divorce, especially when you have money, is just something that I would prefer not to do. We might have to just shack up and, but it's not out of the cards for me.
Okay.
I feel like, especially with the things that I've gone through in the past couple of years, you just never know what God has in store for you. And I want to be open to anything that he brings into my life. In any capacity. I think I would definitely have to meet somebody who really wants to be married themselves. They probably would have to be the one that's leading that. Does she have to cook? Absolutely.
How many nights a week?
It just depends on what she does, and how busy she is. I do like a home cooked meal probably 2-3 nights a week.
That's not bad.
My soon to be ex-wife, she probably cooked probably about 4 nights a week. Very good gourmet meals, but mind you, she wasn't doing it when I first met her. I helped get that game where it is. But yeah, that's very important to me. You got to feed me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm busy too, and I don't want to have to eat out all the time.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. Salad is cheaper to just buy and eat it.
That's why, girl, I would never be with you, child. Open up that refrigerator right now. There's
Ain't
2 bottles of water, lettuce.
It's like condiments.
Or orange.
Literally. There ain't even no oranges in there. Don't look. It'll
Yeah.
make you sad. That's because I eat out every day.
I like to be taken care of.
No, I feel that. But you know what, though? I just feel like there's so many different ways to take care of someone.
Yep, but you got to do it in the way that they want to be taken care of.
This is the fact. So that's one way for you.
Yep.
What's another way?
I like to be nurtured and catered to.
Okay.
So I'm used to, like, when I'm at home, not really having to do much. If I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty, I want my woman to be like, oh, I'll go get it for you.
Yeah.
That turns me on. My love language is acts of service.
Yeah.
So also just being able to contribute to my businesses. Also being able to be there for me emotionally. And I want somebody that is very spiritually connected. That's one thing that I didn't have in my last relationship. Like, we never, not one time, ever prayed together. Like, even when we went to church together, and that is something that's really, really important to me. That's definitely, that would be a deal breaker going forward, because I feel like everybody want to have all these different things in their relationship, but if it don't start with God and you don't have God in your relationship, it's just not going to work out. Yeah,
because there's no integrity.
Exactly.
If you don't have the barometer and source of integrity, it's easy to act out.
Yeah.
It's easy to be wild. It's easy to do unforgivable things because it's like, well, there's no real consequence.
Exactly.
Or I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to speak on it. That
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, especially if you don't have anybody that you're that you just feel as though you have to, and I'm not going to say prove anything to, but when you're religious or you're spiritual, you want to make that higher being happy.
Yes.
And even if you doing something that maybe your mate or your spouse don't know about, that he do. And so I gotta have somebody that's about that.
Yep. Period. Me too. Because it's the integrity for me. And that's what I always say. I feel like, and we've had this conversation before, but I feel like I'm in a space right now, and I bounce back and forth between like I'm ready to commit to like I'm scared to commit, because I feel like the mindset is very weak in this generation.
It is.
So I know
it's terrible. It is so many terrible people out here that will just do you like nothing, no matter what you've done for them, and then will go on about their business and not even care.
And sometimes more than that, it's like, and then they'll talk about you like you never did anything for them.
Yes.
Or try to slander your name or whatever it may be. Like there's so much happening out here in the world. So I know you're not dating because obviously you're going through your divorce, but I'm sure you've heard how these Atlanta streets are now. The dating pool, let's not even say Atlanta, let's just say the dating pool is now. Do you have any kind of hesitation when it is time around dating again?
Definitely. I would say because number one, the reason why I'm getting a divorce is for infidelity, and not even necessarily physical infidelity, but I caught my ex-wife texting several men, and a lot of the dates were matched up with dates that I was, out of town, working, or either taking, trips, for my grief. And it's crazy because, we had been together for about 4 years, and we always told each other, we always promised each other that would never be our issue. And even 2 weeks before I discovered these messages in her Apple Watch, she called me while I was on a trip and was venting to me about a good friend of hers who dude had cheated on her. And she was just like, can you believe it? And, you venting to me about this. And then here it is, you doing the same shit to me, but in her mind, she didn't feel like it was as bad because, she wasn't meeting up with these people, whatever. But I think that I was so caught off guard, like to the point when I was reading these messages, I started throwing up, like literally in my hands. I was so disgusted because as my wife, I'm thinking that you mine, you know what I'm saying? But from these text messages, it's looking like anybody that can fall in your DMs and just say hello is getting your telephone number, so extremely devastating, disappointing. I mean, just the level of betrayal. So for me, number one, before I even think about getting into a serious relationship, I have to heal from that because I don't want to bring that into another relationship with somebody else. Because even though my soon-to-be ex-wife and myself have some thoughts, I would have never thought I would have seen those type of messages in her phone, especially as I'm still heavily grieving my daughter. And I've already forgiven you for so much shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had just celebrated our 2-year anniversary of marriage and had just had deep conversation about where we wanted to go and where we wanted the marriage to go and things that we wanted to work on, So outside of us getting into the marriage counseling that I felt like we needed to be in, that she was supposed to spearhead, I felt like we were in, now not the best place, but we were in a decent place.
Yeah.
And never, not one time did she ever come to me and say, hey, Snoop, I'm missing this. I need this. I don't feel seen. I need attention. Not one time, ever, even with this deep conversation that we had just had, for our 2nd year anniversary. So there's a lot of layers and levels of hurt there. I've never been betrayed like that, especially from the person, outside of my mother and my daughter that I love the most, on this earth. I literally changed this woman's entire life and gave her the world, so there's a lot of healing that has to come with that. One. But I'm definitely open to whatever can happen with someone else. What was the second question?
I forgot, but what does the healing look like for you?
So the healing looks like for me, it's therapy. It's
traveling.
It's The traveling isn't the healing. The traveling is kind of the deflecting. Is getting away from it. The healing is addressing it. It's spending time alone. And when I say alone, my therapist was telling me, she said, you don't like spending time by yourself. I said, I'm by myself all the time. She said, yeah, but you're watching TV, you're doing something, you're working, she said, what would happen if you were just in a room with no phone, no anything? I said, oh my God, girl, that would feel like jail. And I've been there before. And she said, but what do you think your thoughts would be? And what would you do with those thoughts? And so that's what I'm learning. I'm learning not to bury those thoughts. I'm learning to address them. I'm learning to digest them, and to just work through everything that has happened. And I'm also working on seeing where, a marriage doesn't fall just from one person, even when it is infidelity. Okay.
That's a very grown outlook, by the way.
There was nothing to cause her to do everything that she did. Right. But on the outside looking in, everybody can say, oh my God, you gave her everything, da, 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 da. But also, you have to keep in mind, I was grieving too, so there were some things that I probably missed, there were probably some emotional needs, that she needed that I didn't get to. But also at the same time, for me, there was a lot of things that she missed, but I wasn't going to step outside of my marriage. I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to talk to you, so for me, it's about picking the right choice. I get very, very blinded by the looks of some of these beautiful women out here. And, I'm far too old for that shit at this point, So, but that healing process, I can't say exactly what it's going to entail, but it's starting with therapy for me. It's starting with not running away from the thoughts, not, when I'm feeling a certain type of way, not popping open, a bottle of wine, but just, sitting there dealing with it, journaling, listening to podcasts that relate to the things that I'm going through.
Have you sat in a room with nothing yet?
I haven't. So what she has me doing is just like going outside, first 30 minutes of the day, because I'm the type of person, as soon as I wake up, I grab my phone and I'm working, I'm looking to see what my restaurants need, looking to see, what the businesses are doing, what the numbers were from last night. So now I'm in the process of taking that first 30 minutes, learning actually how to meditate and just giving myself love and grace. And, I'm learning that all of my life I've picked people that, because for me, prior to my daughter passing, I really didn't believe in like showing weakness. I never believed in that. Like in my family, you don't really see that. You just see a lot of strong people that's been through a lot of shit, but they don't really talk about it. Yeah, it's not. You just don't really see that. But now when my daughter passed, I didn't mind showing that weakness because it just was so devastating. It so caught me off guard. I feel like that's the worst thing that can happen to a person, is a person that is a parent, is to lose a child. Yeah. And I didn't mind, showing that weakness. Now with my impending divorce, I feel like that's different, because I feel like people go through divorces, people go through betrayals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now it makes it a little bit, more heartbreaking for me because it's a back-to-back loss. Yeah. And then I think it's more difficult too when it's like, because she wasn't even at home, we were both coming back from Dallas on different flights. So it's like Monday, I'm married, thinking I have my forever partner. Tuesday, I go through this phone, and now I have to divorce you come Thursday. And for me, I knew that once I saw those messages, I knew that it was completely over for me. No matter how much I love you, I mean, I still love the girl to death, you know what I'm saying? And no matter how much I love you, I knew that one, I could never trust her. I could never, ever look at her the same. I feel like you had already done so much. You left when my daughter passed. I should have left her then. I just was too weak. I just could not fathom losing my daughter and my wife at the same time. So I decided to give her grace, and we gave each other grace, during the period of grieving, because neither one of us had ever experienced something like that. And we had said that we wanted to get our relationship back on track. We actually separated, before last year, and so it's just like all of this is happening in just 2 years of being married. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to get married is to not only have a family and have more children, but to have somebody that I love to go through the ups and the downs of life with, not just the ups, not just when I'm taking you on 15 trips and, you getting handbags once a month and, I'm paying to get your body done, buying $2 million house for us, giving you a job, your mama and your brother moving down here on us, you know what I'm saying? Because Snoop can provide all of this shit. But the one time Snoop needs you, you can't show up. And then continue not to show up. And then to actually sit up and just be texting every time Dick and Harry. You know what I mean? And one of the text messages, she was telling that she loved him. And it's like, apparently you don't. You're not even talking to this man every day. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? It could have been somebody from the past, whatever. I'll never know. I don't care at this point. You're not my family. You're not my person, for you to do me like this. But when I read those messages, I knew that there was no way that I would reconcile with her at all, period. Because number one, there was already so much that had been done. Two, the messages were just so jarring in her words. They were not messages you would ever want your spouse to see. Extremely graphic messages that, like I said, I'm throwing up in my hand. This is how disgusting these messages are. Three, I know that she is incapable of fully taking ownership and doing the work. The only thing that she could have told me to get me to stay with her is, I'm sick. Check me into a hospital, a mental hospital. Something is wrong with me, because something got to be wrong with you to be talking to. Because I stopped at the fourth message. I'm sure it's like roaches. Where there's 4, there's 10.
Ooh, sheesh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't just stop at 4. At this point, you have completely checked out. And then, even with going through her closet, empty 8 empty bottles of alcohol. So I feel like, while I'm on these trips, you're just sitting around getting drunk and, popping pills and doing cocaine. And it's just, once you've gone down this road, there is just no turning back. That's a self journey that you have to do.
Yeah.
And then lastly, for me, I knew that even as much as I love her and I feel like I can heal people, I'm nobody's pastor.
I know, that's right.
That's not my line of work. And I just knew I could never look at myself again the same.
Yeah.
If I chose to take this girl back, I could never look at myself the same. And I got to love me more than I love you, no matter what condition I'm in, no matter who I've lost, so.
I think it starts to erode self a little bit, because it's like we only allow people to treat us as bad as we'll treat ourselves.
Yeah.
And once someone has passed that threshold, there's no coming back. Like literally, it's almost like, have you ever had that experience where someone could be so handsome or have like such beautiful energy, and the second that they do something crazy, it's like their face changes.
Oh, that's how it was with her for me. I mean,
it's like literally,
I used to
now.
literally be all over this girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought she was the most beautiful girl in the world. But once she walked out that door when my daughter passed, I never looked at her the same ever again. And even when we decided to reconcile and try to make it work, I told her, I said, we can work on this. I said, but I am not in love with you the way that I was when you walked down that aisle. I'm just not, because for you to leave me in my darkest hour, it just, and from what I know now, I just feel like, you loved my hand, not my heart. You love the lifestyle that I was able to provide the things, because once I was down and I was no longer this happy-go-lucky person, we're not throwing parties at the house, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, but see, that was your time to step up, because had you stepped up in my time of need,
it's ride or die.
It would have been
till death,
the world for you. You know what I'm saying? And you could have helped me recover from my grief better and healthier. But a person that is not healed themselves is just not able to do that. And I knew when I married her, I told myself, she's not the person that I want her to be right now, but in about 2 or 3 years, she will be.
Oh, why do we do
And,
that?
that's a mistake, because you gotta meet people where they are right now,
Yeah.
and see, I just didn't expect my daughter to pass, because see, when my daughter passed, the attention needed to be on me for once, you know what I'm saying? And she just was incapable of doing that. She's incapable of showing compassion, empathy, and remorse.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's especially hard when I still haven't even gotten the true apology that I feel like I deserve.
Do you think you ever will?
I don't know. I think if I do, it will be because she's hit rock bottom and she's reminiscing on what her life could and should be at the moment. I don't think I will ever get the apology for how she truly broke and shattered my heart in a time where I was already at my lowest. I don't think I will ever get the apology for that. I don't think that she will ever know what that feels like. But I do know, the apology is never as loud as the disrespect, but the karma is.
Ooh.
And, I know that people have to pay for how they done people.
Yeah, it's true. And if not on them, it's on their children.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I am hoping to get to a place of forgiveness, even without that apology. I'm not there yet. At all. But I do know as a part of my healing process, I have to get there. And so that if I ever do get that apology, I can just say, you know what, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Right. Moving on. You think she's going to try to come back in the future? Or do you think her pride is too strong?
I don't know. I know when she left and we were separated for about 2.5 months last year, it took her at least a month and a half to even start seeing herself. I know that she has a lot of negative, really bad people around her. Some positive, very, very few. I think when you don't come from a good family and a good background, I'm pretty sure she's drinking herself down, trying to party and just trying to black it out. But I know that what I gave her, and I'm not even talking about the lifestyle. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about a household. I know she yearns for that.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't know if she's sorry for what she did, but I know she's very sorry she got caught. Because we had always talked about it. And to me, cheating, especially in a marriage, that's not a mistake. That is an act that you do over and over and over. You sneak around, you make sure your partner isn't around when you're texting and stuff like that. You even have moments of thinking, what would happen if I got caught? See, I'm just not the person to normally go through nobody's phone. So she just never thought she'd get caught. I think that she thinks I'm so done that she would not try to come back to me.
Yeah.
I do think that one day we'll have an adult conversation. I don't know what that will be like. I don't know what she's thinking. I haven't talked to her since a few days after, finding out these messages. 2 days after 2 days after finding these messages, I immediately filed for divorce. She waited about a month to get an attorney. I think that she thought that maybe I would rescind it. But she wasn't even woman enough during that time to even come to me in the way that she needed to. Excuse me. And then now she's at a point of trying to challenge my prenup and all of that, just things that even set us back even further, And so I don't know. I can't say what she may or may not do in the future. I can't say what she's doing. I don't even go look at her Instagram. I'm the type of person, I don't look at things that'll make me sad.
I know that's right.
I already have enough memories. I'm still in the marital home.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard when you're going through a divorce because, you have all those memories all over the place.
Yeah.
So I try not to think about what she's doing now. She could be doing any and everything because, baby, when she was married, when we was together, she was doing shit that a married woman shouldn't be doing. So who knows?
You know, it's crazy because I feel like most of my exes, like I'm cool with. Like if I saw one across the street, I could be like, "Hey,
every single one of mine, I am.
yeah." There's just this one.
Yep.
It's a block party, blocked on everything. Don't call me, don't text me,
Yeah.
don't talk to me, and it's literally not even on some like I really wish this man well. Like I wish you the best. I hope that you're happy. However, your energy is not welcome over here.
Yeah.
Like 0% of your energy. The way that you disrespected me again and again and again and again and again, because honestly, all of my exes spin the block every 6 months to a year. But I think this one is wise enough to know, don't waste your time or your breath. Like how you said, she knows that I'm so done. He knows that I'm so done. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
ain't worth it.
I literally, I even cut off very good friends that were hers that I became friends with. Now it was only a couple of them, child, because they a different breed, you know. But I even immediately cut them off because at this point in my healing journey, I can't see her. I can't know it. Like I just am so devastatingly hurt, you know, that because also just a little bit of time we was married, the amount of money, $250,000 on a wedding, you know, you got on a $40,000 wedding ring, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, I probably spent over $500,000 around with this damn girl. And then for you to do this in less than 2 years, it's just like, why even get married? You know, you wasn't even serious, you know, like the vows is for better or worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we just got the worst in the beginning. If a damn show was gonna get better, but you're gonna have to see it get better with somebody else now when it could have been you.
Yeah. Ooh, sheesh, you dropping bars. Girl, we gotta switch gears here a little bit. And I only have my phone because I have questions written down.
Okay.
Just so because people be like, why are you on your phone? Because it's written down. Okay, so this is a part of the show where I give you something. It's giving something positive or negative in a scenario, and you have to tell me which one you would choose and
All
why.
right.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yep.
You meet a girl, and it is a whirlwind of a romance. She is cooking for you. She's nurturing to you. It's been 3 months. You feel good. You feel like you could trust this girl, and she says, "You need to post us on your social media."
Not doing
Wait,
it.
it's giving. Girl, ain't no way.
It's giving.
Is
Ain't
you
gonna
crazy?
happen. It's giving. Ain't gonna
Or
happen.
it's giving, wow, she really loves me. Let me think about
No,
it.
it's giving. She wanna fucking get on these 100,000 followers I got, and no, keep doing what you're doing. Nah, not gonna happen.
Do you think you'll post your significant other on social media anytime soon?
No.
No. But will you? Period.
If we're at a point of marriage, I will. I will literally be walking down the aisle and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know Snoop had nobody." Yeah. It's gonna be some shit like that.
You know, the second time I was engaged, I literally had people say, "Oh my God, I didn't even know you were with him." But after I got engaged, I started posting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to protect it because that's just like, even when I first met my ex-wife, I posted her from day one. I was so smitten by her. Literally the first date ever. Posted her for day one. I got flooded in all of my DMs, fake pages, everything. Oh my God, she's a hoe. You know, that you don't want to do it. Damn. You know, all of this stuff. And, you know, hell, I wish I would have listened, you know, but I'm always going to go off of what the person says. Now, at this point, I am doing a bona fide background check, you know, but no, I'm not posting anybody going forward. Forget that. No dates, no nothing. I don't care, man. I could be with Nia Long. It will not be posted.
I know that's right. I feel the same way because I feel like
just keep it private.
What do you even need to post for?
Exactly.
Especially if you aren't like committed. What are you up for?
Baby, even if I am committed, I'm not posting.
Yeah, it's giving when I'm married, probably.
I'll post your hand.
You'll know I'm with somebody. I'll post a thigh. You can post. I'll post a picture of like the hand on my thigh. Okay. You know, like I'm with somebody.
I got somebody. This make you feel better, but you know, I ain't no cheater, so it's like, I think with that be why a lot of people be wanting people to post or something like that, you know, but nah.
Okay, I'm ready. You ready for the next question?
Yeah.
You meet a girl, whirlwind romance, and you are like, wow, this girl is really amazing. She's incredible. and you say, you know what, I really need help with some laundry. I'd love for you to cook for me. And she says, why do I need to do wifely duties when I'm not your wife? It's giving trick. You need to go back to where you came from. It's probably hell. Or it's giving, oh, well, maybe I could be more patient.
It depends on what point that is in the situation. Cause that's just like, I got girls that's trying to, talk to me now from my past.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, now it is different for me because my, ex-wife, she did keep the household, so now I haven't had to do laundry in 6 years, I got 4 bedrooms in my house, and, I got somebody that can come clean and stuff like that. But even with just like changing sheets, if it's not time for them to come, like that type of stuff is, I'm not gonna say it's a lot, but it's different. It's adding to my workload when I can be focused on, bringing in the millions, so, and I've got a couple people that's just offered, and just this little bit of time, so it depends on how long I've been with them. I feel like anybody that I meet that's into me, they're going to want to help me. And so if they're like, oh, nah, I'm not doing that, I probably would feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing dates. I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody who life I am, I'm going to lift them up. I'm going to be an asset.
Yeah.
And if you in mind, you should want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something as little as laundry and cooking.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Now I will say I will probably hire certain things and buy certain
and that's
things.
fine as long as they get done. Who cares who did it?
Because I had this conversation. We had my love interest in the Country Wayne skits, Brock, on the set, and we were talking about like if a man's house needs to be tidied, or if my person's house needs to be tidied and I'm dating them, I will hire cleaners to go clean. I'm not about to spend 8 hours to clean your house.
Who and I wouldn't even expect you to.
Right. But I could help. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what needs to be done. We gonna do some we gonna do all the things. But that just doesn't mean I have to do it. Okay. Second last question. You doing okay? Okay. Okay. Let's say you officially have a girlfriend. And you guys used to live in different states, but now she moves in with you. And you find out that she is a party girl in the sense where she likes to go out every weekend with her girlfriends. It's giving, girl, you go out too much. That's not what my girl needs to do. So stay home or get gone. Or it's giving, I love that she's living her best life.
Nah, I'm over that stage, baby. I can't do that. We're not going out every single weekend. Now we're gonna have a good time. I got all these restaurants and lounges. We're gonna have fun from time to time. But I'm 39 years old. I'm not trying to go out every weekend, and I don't think I would be attracted to anybody that's on that type of time.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm like, what are you celebrating? I'm confused.
That shit is boring.
You know what? For me, my question is it a validation thing? Like, are you just lonely? If you have to go out that often.
Some people, that's just what they into, and there's somebody out there for them,
But what is it that makes you want to go out all the time? Not you, but I mean.
I don't know.
I just was never really. Maybe it's because
someone could be going through something.
I started so young. I think that's what it was for me.
Me too.
I started at 16. I was going. By the time I was 23, I was like, I am over it. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm going home. I am tired, boss.
For sure.
I'm out. I'll be there because you invited me. Other than that,
okay,
I'm not outside, or it's an event.
I feel
it's either an event or Snoop. That's it. Final question.
I'm the bad influence.
No, you are not. We have a good time. You always make sure I'm good. And I get a salad and some fries every time we go.
Right.
Okay, final question. Here at It's Giving, we believe in growth and evolution.
Okay.
And one of the easiest ways to do that is through reading books. What book has changed your life and why?
See, I gotta kind of think back because I haven't been reading much lately. My mind has been going, with so many of the things, that I've been going through. I would say number one, the Bible.
Okay.
I started reading the Bible from page 1, Genesis 1:1, when my daughter passed, rereading it, just from the first page. So absolutely the Bible.
Okay.
2, so these are just kind of like a couple urban books that people wouldn't really mention, but like little books that I read just growing up that I guess kind of helped me relate to my situation, my upbringing, and let me know that there was a future for me. So, you got like Fly Girl, Coldest Winter Ever, those type of little books, right? Then, you have, we'll get to the personal healing. Oprah has a book called, I think it's called What Happened to Me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's one that I read actually right before my daughter passed. So I enjoyed that book. There's another one that I've read for my grief called Good Grief. And then there's another one that's called, oh man, what's the name of it? It's a really, really good grief book. I actually bought it for a couple of my friends to help them to be able to understand what I was going through. I can't even think of the name of it right now. I have so many books in my house. I even though I have not been able to read lately, I'm a really, really big reader.
I know.
And then, so as far as the business books, Finding Your Why, there's another one. Why you ain't tell me you was gonna do this?
You only need one. You giving me like 10.
Yeah. I've given you several.
Yeah.
But definitely several. How to Make Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a great book.
Who Moved My Cheese?
That's a great book too. Simple read, easy read.
Yep, very, very easy read. And then it's another one that's a really easy read. It's a little small book. It's by
Is it The Four Agreements?
Yes.
It's a good book. Yes. Easy read.
Yep, that's it.
Don Miguel Ruiz. We were just talking about that book too.
I was about to say Miguel somebody. Yeah. But yep. Yeah.
That's a good one. Have you read The Mastery of Love by him? It's a great book.
Oh, and then I've actually met, so just for individuals that's out there, when it comes to love, the Gottmans have several books.
The Gottman
that
theory.
Are really good. So John Gottman and his wife, a lot of marriage counselors, they use a lot of their principles.
Yes.
And a lot of their books, and they got a couple of them that are really good.
I agree. I figured it out how I found John Gottman and the Gottman theory was through reading a book called Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about the Gottman theory, and that's why, because we talked about it. I was like, ooh, when I was in my relationship, I was like, the Gottman theory. We gotta figure this. Yeah. Maybe it's me. I'm the drama. Like trying to figure out all the answers. Nah, it was him. But it was both of us. Takes two to tango. Whatever. But Snoop, I want to say thank you for coming on the show today. We gotta have you back.
Thank you for having me.
It's been hard to get you on here, but I'm so grateful. Thank you for your transparency, your vulnerability, and you really do just inspire. Just by being who you are, by being open, real, raw, and honest. And I know that your story inspires and touches so many people. So thank you again for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, boo.
Of course. I love you too. And y'all, if you guys like this episode, make sure to hit that button below and get subscribed. It is good, real, raw, honest conversations just like this one. Hit that little button so you get a notification with each new piece of content. And if no one has told you today, you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com. Nothing can stop you but you got to do something about
it. How you know they phenomenal?
Let's
you don't know them
get
people.
They are. They phenomenal. Bye, y'all.